Join me today as we learn about a man with your great lengths, perseverance, and even a story of redemption to overcome great odds. Join me today in the story of Louie Z. Welcome back to TLC Nightly. We have our host here, Louie Z, for our 134th annual show of guest stars. And I'm really proud to say he is our 103rd. How are you tonight?
Yeah, well, Tom, I'm glad to be here on your show. I love TLC, and ever since I heard about it last week, I've been watching it every day.
Great to have you, show. We just got a few questions the audience has been dying to know about. We'll start you off with, let's go back to your childhood here. And we all know you got mischief, and one thing that kept you out behind bars was running. Now, running in track, you were one of the fastest athletes in your school. What was running to you, though? What did you get out of running?
Running, first off, yeah, I dabbled in, delinquent activities, but running, it gave me a sense of purpose and something to work for. And I was a good runner. I'd run down the street, I'd turn around, I'd run back down the street, and then I'd rinse, and I'd repeat, and I'd run back down the street, and I'd nobody catch up to me. Because I used to run, and I'd work at it every day, and I worked for the 4-minute Olympic record to get on there, knowing if you can do the mile in 4 minutes, that's the best you can do.
That's what I thought for us. Well, here's the next one. We're going to skip ahead. We're going about the middle of your career. We're going to start you off when you were in that raft, that little yellow raft. Now, I know it must be a sore subject to talk about since you pretty much lived there for 47 days with 2 other men, cramped. You were scavenging for food, drinking rainwater. But what was it like the mental and physical strain? What was it like to be stranded?
Well, being stranded, it's not like being at home. Because at home, you got your water, you got your food, and you got your diabetic pills. But when you're stranded in the ocean with 2 of your buddies, and one of your buddies eats all the chocolate the first night, things look dim. Excuse me. Oh, with my whistle. But being out there with sharks circling you and only slim chance of survival, it really tells you who you are as a man. Putting my friend Mac in the water after he died, it was one of the saddest moments I've ever had. One of the hardest things I had to do. But the strong will survive, and we did survive.
And only the best of the best. You're Navy SEAL material. You didn't have Navy SEALs back then. I'm sure you qualify for now. Now, we all know that 3 planes passed you while your time out there, and every time a plane went by, you lost more faith in when you'd be rescued. And so what happened to be on the 3rd plane actually saw your flare, but it just so happened to be that 3rd plane was a Japanese Zero pilot fighter. With the Mac and all them, they're just like, oh my gosh, Louie, what have you done when you shot that flare? Am I right? What was going through your head?
Well, when I shot that flare, Tom, I could have sworn it was one of our own. Could have sworn. Old Tommy Reynolds, I thought he was up there, but I don't know what I was thinking. I just put it in there and popped it. And truth be told, it was Japanese plane. And they strafed us for 45 minutes, they did, back and forth. And I dove in the water, and that's where the sharks were, but Mac and my buddy, they were still in the boat. And they no matter how much they played dead, no bullet hit them. And I'd hop back out in the boat, and when the plane passed, and I'd jump back in the water because I had my strength, and I'd have to fight the shark off. I buried my teeth and you had to hit it in the nose.
Louie. Oh my. Well, after you found out you were going to be taken to Execution Island, home, that's where they beheaded multiple and just slaughtered many POWs. What were you thinking when you got there? Because it does take a lot to survive something like that, and you do have a lot to gain and a lot to offer. So what was that like?
Oh, the prisoner of war camp. Now that was a test of that was a true test of our mental capacities. I used to be an Olympic. I don't know if I told you, but I used to run back and forth all the time, and it really wore my body down to just skin and bones. We ate rice balls, and they didn't feed us too well. But what really kept me going was thinking that I had to come home to my family and let them know I was all right. I'm sorry, but it was a difficult time.
Yeah, and then when you found out that the war was over, when, Ryan Reynolds flew the B-24 over in Morse code to let you know the war was over, what? Were you not over? Was not the whole camp shaking? Were they not raising the roof in joy? That's a new term. But were they not just happy to know the war was over, that they were going home?
Well, after we found out the war was over, it was a joyous thing. The man flew over in the plane, Burt Reynolds, and we clapped and we knew that we'd be going home soon. But I was just happy we could all make it, because it's been a while. I've been on the boat for so long, like you said, and I went on the raft. And by the time we got home, I was just so glad to be on land again, on USA soil, USA.
Yeah, I would be too. Now, going back to your home and your loved ones, was it a little hard to get back in the swing of things? I mean, now you're not dodging bullets anymore. You're dodging ladies, going down the street. How was that?
Yeah, getting back in the swing of things. It took a little time, and I turned to the drink, and I had nightmares of the bird trying to get me and my family. And it drove me to alcoholism, and I battled that for so long. But I beat it. And I grew into a healthy young individual with a healthy family. And I learned that nobody could do wrong about forgiveness. And I'm glad to see you here. God bless you, Mr.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, glad to have you on the show here, Lou. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad to see you. Maybe we'll catch up sometime.
Thank you for having me, Tom. Thank you. I'll meet you outside. Then we'll talk later. But thank you for having me.
Tune in next time on the show when we interview Barack Obama to figure out where he actually is born.